Hello, Blitz fans of all ages. It's me, Plumcastle here, going over a new credit coefficient, or at least a new way that credits will be working in the game. So, before, a lot of you have probably seen numbers like this, lots of red, and you end up with very negative numbers. Like, you earned 25,000 in the battle, as you can see here, and then just different little things will eventually take that all down, and you end up spending credits on your game, which isn't terribly great or nor terribly fun for most people. But with the new upcoming update for 8.5, it looks like there will be a few things that will be changing. Now, the first thing that they said would be that tank repairs, you can see there was 5,600. Let me explain what tank repairs are. They're when you die in a battle and then you come back, in order to make your tank not dead, we'll call it, that does cost you. So that is actually going to be completely removed. And as well, ammo resupply will be much lightened by the fact that in low tiers, mind you, it's only lower tiers, but low tiers get free HE, and then all tiers get free AP rounds. So no more credits for AP rounds. AP rounds are just free. So I imagine you'll probably see more people trying to use AP, but we'll see there. And then we can continue on here, and they're going to explain that in a minute. But I'm curious to see how this is going to work. Obviously, as you can see now, they're showing that it's 0 for tank repairs and all that kind of fun stuff. I'm curious to see how this is going to work. Like, will lower tiers now be even easier to get? Again, you can see the 0 for high explosive, but do note that WarGaming said themselves that that's for lower tier. I don't know what tiers specifically, maybe up to tier 5, but we'll have to wait and see for that part. But I'm just curious to see. Some of you may already know there's just a huge problem with people grinding through the lines a little bit too quickly. I myself, it's way too easy, to be honest. But yeah, I do say that I'm actually kind of in favor, because at this point, I don't think we really need to be worried about too much about players boosting up too quickly. They're already doing it too quickly, so it's probably not going to make much of a difference. And for someone that does see quite a few negative battles for credits because of how much premium I use just to guarantee those kills, I actually am in favor of this, because fewer credits being spent obviously is more being made, and I could really use the credits because I'm trying to upgrade tier 10s and all that. And you can even see on this graph that I'm about to show you here, WarGaming has shown that about 10 to 15% of battles that players would be in was at a loss of credits, which is quite a lot. And then after update 8.5 rolls around, you should start to see the graph turn something a little bit more like this. You can see that about, in fact, I think it's less than 5% of battles will actually be in the negative, which is great. Now, there are a few things to keep in mind here, and they're about to show this. So before, I'll wait for all this to load up here. So you can see here, before there was a lot of profit, but there was a lot of repairs, a lot of standard shells, just a lot of costs, which would then lower your total quite drastically. But then afterward, they lowered the repairs and the standard shells, like I had just said. So that's better. So you would think there would be a more total, but they do balance it a little bit, which is good. You're not making just heaps of credits. They lower your profit a little bit. So you're hitting your total more frequently, but your profit will be lower, but you will be losing less ultimately. So just some balance changes. You don't get as much per game, but you don't lose as much, which is honestly probably going to make grinding a lot better and a lot more consistent, so you aren't losing credits so much. And I actually really do like how they did this. Now, I'm not sure what the tanks are here for, so I'm just going to continue to talk about the credits. I'm really liking that they are even about to show you. You can see here, AFK players, finally. I don't know if this is something that was previously in an update. Like, I think they said 8.2, but I think this might be coming in 8.5. 0 XP, and you just watch this. For an AFK player, they get, yeah, they're going to be losing a lot of credits just for simply being inactive, and I totally agree with this. AFK players are so annoying. I get sometimes it happens. I mean, it's even happened to me before. Internet crashes, game crashes, whatever. It happens, but there are definitely those players that just sit there farming resources, albeit little resources, but still farming them, just letting their account run all day, and then making teams not real great. But now they're definitely penalizing those who are just there to sit through the game and try to grind through a line without even touching their computer, PC, whatever you want to call it. Now, excuse me, there's also some new credit changes coming for awards. So, before in a battle like this, even with an ace, you might see a max of, say, 100,000 credits if you're like really lucky or really good, and that may even be game modes, I'm not sure. But typically, you'd see probably 35,000 credits in a good game in a tier 10. I could be totally wrong there, but it doesn't matter because look at these numbers now. You're seeing, my goodness, I mean, sure, it was almost 5,000 damage game in this illustration, but over about 350,000 credits were earned when they were using premium account, and then total credits afterward after the repairs, which have been lightened, that's 334,000. Like, they've actually totally buffed how this works. Now, this is not every game. It's a lot of games, I guess, but do note that in order to get that much, this would have been a tier 10 battle, and they're about to show you. This is why you got some new credits, is because of those aces, Top Gun, and Kolobanovs. So they'll show a spreadsheet here, and it's actually really cool. You'll get different amounts of credits for the different medals depending on your tier, and I'll pause it right about here just to show you. So, excuse me. The top level is for tier 6, and if you get an ace in tier 6, so I'm guessing this doesn't go lower than tier 5. We'll see about that. But for getting an ace in tier 6, it automatically adds 20,000 credits, which is pretty good. That's a good game just to get that much at all. Out of Kolobanovs, which aren't frequent, but if you're getting a Kolobanovs, you're likely getting an ace tanker, so those two will likely be hand in hand. With every Kolobanovs, you will likely get an ace tanker, not necessarily the reverse, but still, that's 40,000, and then add 10,000 if you get Top Gun, which, if you're acing, is probably the case, and I forget the exact definition of top Gun, but you have to be at the top of the team by a certain amount of damage. Not really sure what it was. Tier 7 is, of course, it's doubled, which is nice, and then Tier 8 is 3 times that of Tier 6, Tier 9, and then we get to Tier 10. And if you get all of these together, which would be really hard, but theoretically possible, get an ace, a Kolobanovs, and a Top Gun, you're adding 250,000 credits. That's exactly what that replay, or not replay, but the little after battle data shows. That's how you can get over 300,000 credits in a game, and this is normal mode. Imagine stuff like this in fun modes. No, of course you can't get the medals in fun modes, but just better credits overall are going to make fun modes easier to grind in as well. So I think that's basically it for the new credits. Let me know what your favorite part was. I've got to say mine was probably the decreased price, or the 0 price in AP rounds for all tiers, and HE being lowered for lower tiers. That's actually really cool. Makes it much easier to not waste all my credits, because I do mostly shoot AP rounds. Now, of course, I may still go in the negative sometimes just because losses happen, and I do shoot premium rounds. That's just how I work. I try to make sure to get those kills. But anyway, that's it on the new credit coefficient. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, have fun, good luck, and happy tanking.